We are back from outer space. All right, continuing on. Day 59. The company is in great shape for day 59. We are, I would say, ahead of schedule as far as powering up. The team has got a few, newcomers that are excellent, that need to level up. But once they do, then we should have the tools we need to do everything we need to do. And so, let's do them. All right. So I still need the cart upgrade. The first cart upgrade is probably the big expenditure I want to save up for. And even though the team is doing really well, we're not quite ready to fight like big noble armies, big orc camps, things like that. There's still quite a lot of power to be gained. Hey, it's Grib. Perfect timing, in fact, because I just got started. And I'm gonna update my objectives here. Do I think, so we took out the Barbarian Madman. Perfect. Well, then a little bit of BB is what I shall provide to thee. But yeah, I think I'm actually probably ready to fight Ijirok too, given I've got one bro with Overwhelm. If I can get one or two more from these initiative builds, then I think I could probably just do Ijirok. And so that's what I think I'm gonna update my objectives with. So second wave of bros. Do I need any additional bros? Maybe one or two just for insurance? Might be nice. One or two more good bros. I'll say insurance bros. In case anyone dies, which of course can happen. Named gear, I'm going to leave there. Find Icy Cave, I'm going to change to Find Hunting Grounds. And that's basically it. I don't think there's anything else I really need to focus on. I suppose super short term, I'm going to put card upgrade, because I want that. So I'm going to mess with this noble house a little more. I think that seems like a good idea. And so, perfect. Trading caravans, kind of the easy fights. We're good with those. These just turn directly into money. Whereas the fights against, if we find like a supply caravan, that would be really nice as a way of sort of, fighting a easy noble army. Knackered. Love it. I had a glass of wine with my dinner, which I suppose doesn't count as knackered, but it's the thought that counts. Got him. This guy's actually going to get a turn. There we go. Okay. What is the drink of choice to become knackered? I'm curious. So I'm going to try experimenting with adrenaline on this build. Kind of need to take a little bit of fatigue. Oh, knackered just means tired? Does it? Okay, whatever. I don't know. I don't know British slang. I thought it was, it's so similar to, like, in the US we'd say hammered. Or whatever. Anything "erd" usually means you're inebriated in some way. Well, I feel foolish. Alright, Spear Bro. I'm going to do two things with the Spear Bro. I think one is a little experimental, and the other is just going to be a flex perk. So I'm going to take two other ways of using fatigue, I think. Maybe just one, and I need to decide what it is. The way I often will build one of these Spear Bros is the last two perks I'll pick here will be 9 lives and Indom. And Indom is sort of a way of using the Spear Bro as like a secondary nimble tank for like Ancient Dead's fights specifically. But I'm going to try something via the suggestion of Player of Games in the Battle Brothers Discord of trying to take Hammer Mastery and keeping him as an offensive brother in the situations where I'm not spear walling. But I think I'm going to do that last. And first, as an insurance policy, and something I maybe should have taken a while ago, I'm going to take 9 lives. The other thing I could do is Fort Mind. But I think 60 resolve is good enough. But I really like resolve on my Spear Bros. Like a lot. I really don't ever want them to break to Geist Screams. I want them to hold for Warlord Screams. I want them to get confident ASAP in battle to hold key positions. I've kind of already convinced myself I want Fort Mind. I think I'm going to do Fort Mind plus Hammer Mastery. Besides, it's bigger Fearsome procs. And I love me a good Fearsome proc. Gonna take Nimble here on this guy. And give him a more suitable armor for perfect Nimble percentage. And we're gonna look for more easy fights, like this, for example. And we're gonna look for some like medium difficulty fights too. Which to me are gonna be like caravans, like supply caravans. That's what I'm thinking. Blast 'em. It was a cart full of venison. Yeah, they're not only are they not very smart, they're a little braver than they should be. If I were in their shoes, perfect. That's the kind of thing I want to see. But is this from Eisengrab? Great. If I saw a really decked out mercenary team where they had literal guns taken from a culture I wasn't even quite familiar with, and I saw them decked out in like giant skull helmets and spears, they had a banner, they looked organized, and I was just like, I don't know, a dude in a shirt with a little buckler and a wooden stick. I don't know. Writing's on the wall, my dude. You just gotta run. Are you really gonna make me run to you? But it's just not a good fight for him, you know? It's like that time I fought Necro Savants when I shouldn't have. It's just like that. Yeah, yes. That is the worst. When the militia just charge in. Oh my god. And it's like, no, you're making them stronger. Okay. Right, exactly. Exactly. Or in the Noble War, when they charge forward and they're like, I don't want to be in melee. And then they swap one of your vulnerable guys in front. They're like, you take it. You go there. That's another classic. Okay, we got a bill hook here. What are they doing? Spreading out, curiously. Good old Billy Hook. And I'll just charge right in, I think. Oh, oops. Thought that guy was someone he wasn't. Got him. Okay, all the billy hooks are down. I suppose, I was thinking about it. Knackered, I knew that meant tired. Let the record state, I did know that, despite how it may seem. And by seem, I mean because I literally said the wrong thing and went with it for a long time. It's sensible. Okay, and we got mail hauberks, the flat top with mail, and the pike. Now that helmet, I suspect I will have use of. Knackered? Yeah, that is a good one. And does it mean like a specific type of tired? Do you understand what I even mean by that question? Because there's like mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, like they're not, you know. There's like sleepy tired versus tired of your crap, you know. I assume it probably means something closer to just like exhausted. Not like exhausted though. Tired after work, yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Hey, Bajante. Tired after doing some physical activity. Okay, so it is like a physical thing. Okay. Well, if there's no other noble armies to fight here, I might take the little bit of spoils that I got. Well, I should do something else before I head to a place to sell. Maybe I'll explore some of this area over here near this. They might have an army here for me to fight. I think the first signs of the upcoming crisis are starting, because the noble armies have been moving around a little weird just the last couple days. So I think it'll either be Holy War or Noble War, and I feel like they're not moving so far away for it to be Holy War. I feel like it's Noble War. Maybe those movements actually look the same, but that's just a hunch. Alright, I'll do this Fortress Remnants fight, whatever it is that's here. So I can actually, since I'm going to do this weird backup hammer thing, go ahead and give these guys a military pick, even though military picks kind of suck. But if this is Ancient Dead, you know? Yeah, they look pretty alive to me. So notice how I have my formation set up with my spear bros with the shields sitting right out there in front, and this guy with the named kite shield. Yeah, that's true, they are soon to be dead. That's right. That's accurate. But I don't think it's fair to call them Ancient Dead when they're about to be dead, you know? Okay, is this a good enough spot? Probably. I've like got a mix where some bros have Pathfinder and some don't. So it's kind of tricky to figure out exactly who can be where ahead of time anyway. So I think I'll go here because this guy can still blast down there, and so can this guy in a pretty good spot. Pretty good spot. That's right, shoot that guy right in the shield. And this guy just recently took Underdog. How convenient. Oh yeah, and Grib, you are still alive. You're the one with the fancy shield. The avatar of Grib. Alive and well. As is the avatar of Bijante. Alive and well. That's right. You are the meme grin. Congratulations. Oh, I guess putting that guy there was whatever. This is fine. I mean, I don't even have the Swordlands yet. But that's fair. For what it's worth, my original thought was that you were going to be a fencer, which presumably you'd be more happy with. I'm not sure. I don't normally build fencers because I don't actually think they're very good. But that ended up not coming to pass. I think Bijante is, at least based on previous discussions, just sick of the Reddit classic build of anyone who has like high offensive stats, the default suggestion is make them a sword lance. Instead of like, you know, they've got drunk or huge and high melee attack. You can totally give them like a regular big chonkin, you know, frontline weapon, and it will do a lot of damage. But that's just my, I don't know, interpretation. Okay, well, I don't know if, I mean, it's your words. I don't think I can possibly explain it better than you. But I mean, I think it's definitely a valid way to feel. Let's see, should I just keep going south here? People squander high damage bros away into Swordlands builds. Yeah. Whereas I think it's most useful for a initiative build or something like that. It's not a high damage build, but I like using it for fearsome procs and overwhelm and things that I want to happen early in a round of combat. There, I think it's quite good. You can also wait with it and then use it as a finisher, stuff like that. Yeah, and it's yeah, exactly. There's enemy types where it's really good. Goblins are like probably the quintessential example. Dang, that event triggered again. But yeah, like for me, you know, oof, this terrain sucks. I like having a little bit of help against goblins. And honestly, even a bunch of human enemies, it can be really nice too. I'm gonna put this other gunner there, so I guess, yeah, send that guy onto the side. Hey, Sins, how's it going? How's recovery? yeah, it is funny seeing the I don't know, the different whatever communities with their own beliefs. All right, that's really good. That's excellent news. Because once you've gained your own mobility, that's a huge step in like improving the rate of recovery. So that's awesome. Yeah, that's the other thing is like, yeah. Well, it's to me the crazy thing about Reddit is there will be strategies or like questions about strategy in the game. Like built into the question is an assumption that you have questions about strategy, right? And people will get very upset when you give an answer based on that assumption. Utterly bizarre to me. Like, if you were playing any other competitive game and you'd be like, I'm struggling as Ursa, laning against whatever, high damage dealer cores, like what can I do? I'm getting, whatever. You ask those questions in any other strategy community and people would be like, oh, here's what you need to do. But in this game, it's like a person asks a strategy question, they pitch it as a strategy question, and then people get upset when that's how it's answered. And that is just bizarre to me. But that is a quirk that, I don't know. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys can hear that from here, but the dogs are freaking out upstairs. Oh, yeah, you saw that. I mean, whatever. That one was a little bit, that one, for what it's worth, I knew the question was, how should I build this bro? Not whatever. It's not like I didn't know what I was getting into there. Yeah, they're upstairs with my wife right now. I might have to go see if she needs assistance, but we'll see. Right. Yeah. You asked a question specifically about a way you want to cycle, not making a judgment. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird to me. Okay. Ugh, gotta get rid of some stuff. Got all this meat that's gonna go bad. I got a lot of food that's gonna go bad. Yeah, there's some special people in the world. Okay, I need to get to somewhere to sell stuff because I need this damn card upgrade is what I need. I think the best place for me to get back to is Donnersberg. So, gonna go ahead and level up this guy. And I think I'm gonna take just a little bit more fatigue on him. Since he's got Iron Lungs, he can get away with less, but not that much less. And I think similar to the other Spear Bro, I'm gonna take Fort Mind, and especially since he is currently afraid. Stupid superstitious trait. Making him feel ways he shouldn't. Can't have any cowards on my team. Oh, cute little collapsed roof. I see it. I'm right next to it. I'll bust it. Won't take very long to do. It'll take longer because the terrain is going to make these zombies really struggle to get to me. Now they'll make it. Probably don't need to use the ammo here, but it'll be fine. Unlikely to take even a single point of damage, I have to imagine. Alright. Just a quick little easy thing. The hardest part of this battle is going to be this. Let's just get rid of the food that's going to go bad, quivers, sticks, and a knife. Because I want these this very nice cutlery. I'm into the nice cutlery. There we go. Okay. Back on track. Ooh. We'll check out that noble army. I think it's that same one I saw earlier, which the squad's not quite ready to safely fight those a noble army of that size yet. We're not quite there, so we're gonna dodge that. I'm gonna hang on to these helmets and quick check if there's any nimble setups I've got that I need to improve. Yeah, like this one. This one. Actually, that could have resolved itself. Yeah, we'll fix up this one. I think a full 40% for just a little bit less head protection is fine. This one's fine, that's fine, it's fine, that's fine. This guy's just holding on to stuff. Okay. Alright, gonna get rid of those. And I'm gonna buy just a tiny bit of long-lasting food, and then I'm gonna make a trek out east and go out into the wilds, into the wilderness. So let's see, what's here? Nah, shouldn't fight the arbalesters yet. That's mainly it's like the main thing that I think is too much risk of. I've got bros that don't have nimble yet, or like really good gear or anything, that are just a little too vulnerable, I think. So I'm not gonna fight that. I will probably just get the card upgrade, but I'm gonna make my way east and get it when I need it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't think there's any money I want to spend here. Let me just double check. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on buying any gear. It'd be kind of nice to buy a coat of plates, but don't have enough money. I'm gonna buy the cheap little leather neck guard. Toss that on one of these setups. That actually looks pretty nice with the fur coming around it. Good look. Okay, so now I'm gonna make a trek out, not quite to like the edge of the map. We probably won't make it that far. Oh, no. Come on, shortest path algorithm. Don't forsake me like that. They've got dogs. Because we know we can sell this right here, I'm gonna fight that. And I've got 2 bros that are faster than all of them, so that's kind of exciting. These thralls they're pretty fast. We can free up that guy's spot so the other gunner can get in there and give him a good old blasting. And he'll get 2 of those blasts, which is very exciting. A 1. And 2, even though I guess... Never mind. He doesn't really need it. Oh, get back here. Well, that fight basically ended in 2 handgun blasts. I think that was net positive for ammo. That was exciting. It's the little things, you know. Alright, and this will give me like a little bit more, just a little bit more money, which will be nice for making sure I've got enough to still pay the men after getting a card upgrade. I'm probably okay on food, but there's like nothing worse than being really far away and running out. So I'm gonna buy like just a little bit. Just a little bit. So I'm just gonna head straight east from here. The nice thing about this too is I'm looking to travel through tundra anyway to see if we can spot the hunting grounds. And I think if I can just get 1 more bro with overwhelm. Oh no, I do have 2. I think that's all I need. Make sure they've got enough throwing weapons, but with the 2 fast bros with overwhelm that are throwers that I can get in position, kind of makes Idjarok like pretty trivial. He doesn't even hit anything. And I've got both maces and hammers, which is kind of nice. You can debuff them with both. Some of these fights that are like on the way, like in the swamp here, maybe I shouldn't even do, so I can just get further out. But I suppose this is kind of nice to fight Ancient Dead since the team's so good against them. Or not Ancient Dead, regular zombie undead. So it looks like 4 Geists, or it could be Necromancers sitting in there in the turn order too. Necromancers and Geists have like really close to the same initiative values. So. Alright, yeah, have a good one, Grib. Yeah, I mean, Sins, you're not wrong. You are not incorrect. This is definitely like firmly into just like cozy territory. But, you know, is what it is. But yeah, the team is far enough ahead of the curve that, yeah, we're in good shape. Okay, so I do want to get on top of those Geists that jumped right on over. So I am going to do that. So I'm going to send this guy here actually. Okay. And I am going to make a attempt to dagger down this guy's armor just to get another pseudo forge piece, I think. No, I gave you Fort Mind, my dude. You're not allowed to do that. What do you think I gave you Fortified Mind for? It was so that you wouldn't, oh, come on. What a coward. What a coward. He's even gonna get surrounded. Oh. Well. I guess he was going to fill in one of the gaps anyway, no matter who I killed. Yeah, the tricky thing about setting a time limit for like my Winstreak runs is that like I want to give it enough time that like it's sort of like, hey, you can get off to a slow but careful start if things go terribly, and still always, you know, reliably achieve victory based on this sort of admittedly arbitrary conditions. But you know, in some runs where things just kind of go your way, it's like, you know, you're set. Like, the team is still, I mean, don't get me wrong, the team's like not really close quite to Monolith level, but it's not, but also they're not that far away. Okay, and did we take any fight or any damage? No, literally 0. And got a decayed coat of plates. Got some stinky, stanky armor to put on someone. And I could just put it on the tank, or I could give it to one of these guys that I already took mastery on. That seems like it actually probably makes more sense. Okay. Just gonna level the primary 3 forge tank attributes and probably just take underdog. On the banner, we'll just take our pseudo-offensive stats, and probably to be a bit more defensive, I could take 9 lives. I kind of also just want Pathfinder though, to be honest. There's been a lot of not having Pathfinder annoying me. I feel like the thing about Pathfinder is the campaign reaches a point where I just get like really annoyed if I don't have it. Because it starts to become like a piece of mental burden to keep track of who does and who doesn't have Pathfinder, as I'm like figuring out where I want to send my team forward against like goblins and stuff like that. So it's nice to just, once I start taking it on some bros, I kind of just start taking it across the board. Partially just to make my life easier. Yeah, it is a lot of utility. It's just really nice to be able to step on up and down elevations without the penalty. I mean, other like terrain types too, but even in like otherwise normal 2 AP terrain, you know, there can just be a ton of little bumps that make pathing obnoxious. Okay. A paint set. These barbarians were artists. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this now. I can't imagine that there's a fight that's going to give me like 40 pieces of things in the loot screen, but... And I've only got, you know, 4 days worth of food, so I can't go out too far. I mean, I could maybe find food on the way. There we go. It's a nice little easy orc camp. Real small. Really small. That's like 7 enemies max. Bizarrely small. I realize it's the smaller camp type, but still. No, they at least hit their maximum amount. Okay, we're gonna let the warriors go and then sort of look at where we want people. Trying to come up with an easy concept or anything. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. And I'll put the 2 spears like here and there. So I'm gonna free up this hex for that guy. Cute. Ooh. Wow. That was an impressive attack by that berserker. Oof. Seductive Me. Wow, is that a great name? Seductive Me. That's fun. Alright. Go ahead and cycle that guy out. Give this guy an opportunity. Actually, you know, this guy that's good TBD. I should bring in good TBD. Because he's good. But what he's going to be is TBD. Okay. Hello, Seductive Me. God, that is a great name. is very good. And even though I'm going to give this guy Sword Lance. So I am going to give him Overwhelm and Fearsome. I think for now I'm going to give him Pathfinder. Three more days worth of wages. Go out just a bit further. See if I can find one more real good fight. Or the Ancient Temple. And then I always have to remind myself what I click on, because for a long time I had it memorized wrong. What do I think of the Legends mod? I mean, I think that having seen some of it, it's not for me. Like, I'm not super interested. I think there are cool ideas in it, like lots of cool ideas, but it seems to me like the actual gameplay is kind of all over the place, and it just has not only a little bit of jank that kind of doesn't appeal to me, some of the things are a bit too tedious, but also that the gameplay experience of vanilla Battle Brothers is so well tuned in like weapon balance and things like that, that I just find it a lot more interesting. Like managing armor layers, which is like a key part of it, to me just seems like, I don't know, too much. Yeah, that might be a better way of putting it. It's like a more interesting adventure game. Like the scaling beggar and stuff like that. Like it's got the power fantasy type stuff really well, locked in, but I don't know. It's not as interesting to me. I feel the same way about like most Slay the Spire mods. Like they're neat, and like I've played a lot of like Spire with friends, with like people, just to do goofy, fun, collaborative runs, but the base game of Slay the Spire is just like, it's good for a reason. Kind of the same with Faster Than Light. Like the multiverse exists. It's cool. Also not for me for the exact same reason. The deck building game Dominion, the core sets and expansions are awesome. Some of the fan-made stuff that some people like, not very good. Okay, I think I'll peel through this top area of fog. So, but I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. If you enjoy Legends, you should continue to enjoy Legends. Like, I've never played RimWorld, though I think I do kind of like those cute little sim games, so it probably would appeal to me. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. I think it's harder to design a game well than people imagine. Yeah, I think that's I think that's also true. It is kind of the opposite of vanilla Battle Brothers in a lot of ways. Whoops, I shouldn't have swapped weapons there. But again, it's I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. If you like Legends, you should continue to like Legends and have a good time. Yeah, it's got like different gameplay objectives. And actually, in that regard, you know, my analogy of the multiverse for Faster Than Light, I think is like apropos, because that's kind of the same idea there. It's like, what if FTL, but much bigger, which actually is kind of a different game. Yeah, I would love if vanilla had a bigger community and people doing playing it kind of the roguelike way that I like to play it. I think it'd be interesting to see strategies evolve and stuff like that over time. I think that the predominant way that people play to, like, I'm gonna use the word competitive loosely, but like, you know what I mean, like where there's something that you're, you know, a goal you're trying to achieve. A lot of that that's popular is speed running, and that to me is not so interesting, because speed running, a lot of the goals of speed running are like researching seeds. It's more of a puzzle game, and I have nothing against puzzle games. Puzzle games are fun. I just prefer strategy games over puzzle games, personally. Alright, we got a couple scary man-splitters here that I want to make sure that I at least respect. So that I don't get my man-splitted. Yeah, I'd love to see, honestly, I'd love to see more people playing and streaming and getting involved and interested in vanilla Battle Brothers. Like, really. Because I like it. It's just so much fun. Oh yeah, no, so what's interesting is I hadn't really thought about the build that much when you were talking about it, like what is good and bad and whatever in it. It was actually that comment where I was like, okay, what is the build trying to do? And what is it making use of? And I understand where you're coming from, and I agree. I think it is like a build for secondary stats. Yeah, they've got regular old secondaries, whereas like barbarians and beast slayers have a ton of secondaries. Also, the other interesting thing is all of the builds with high secondaries, or all of the origins with all of the backgrounds with high secondaries all seem to have high initiative. It's like alongside high initiative, they get like high other stats, other than rat catchers, but that's like, you know, they're their own thing. Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's I'll share my thoughts when we do our duo stream. But the long and short of it is, I like the idea of, it's kind of a way of getting primary attributes out of secondary attributes in a way that's still really effective. I think it's a really cool idea, and I don't know. It's worth exploring, and I think it's probably actually very good. So, exactly. And that, again, a topic I was going to bring up is good stats, but no stars. You can sort of custom build into that by just like being mindful when you level up. It's like a lot more of a build, you kind of respond to what you see on the level up screen, and that to me is really cool. So, but yeah, you can skip ones in, say, melee defense or melee skill, because suddenly 5 or even 6 initiative can get you not only your, 3/4 of a melee defense just from dodge alone, but then by being faster than a new enemy, you can overwhelm them, which is kind of like 10. And, by getting more melee attack, or like really good, using the greatsword, for example, for just a little bit better chance to hit, then with reach advantage, you get even more melee defense. Yeah, see, I agree with the randomized perks conceptually. I don't think it would be easy to do in vanilla Battle Brothers and create like a interesting experience, but I like conceptually randomized perks a lot. I actually think that's cool. So, but I think a lot of vanilla players, again, this is a little soapboxy, but people who play with tryout mods end up forcing certain builds that they know and they're comfortable with, because they just look for those specific sets of, types of bros and stars and talents, and don't get to experience some of the sort of, I won't say wacky builds, but sort of the outside of the box builds, because people play that way. Whereas in Legends, you kind of get it by default, since bros have randomized perk trees. People rob themselves of the joy of that experience in vanilla, which is too bad. But I do really like the randomized perks. I really do. I do think it is cool. All right. I hope that they're feeding you well. But I think, you know, even in vanilla Battle Brothers, there is strategically a whole bunch of completely unexplored game space. And I say that because I don't think anyone builds companies quite like I do. No one else is building like dedicated spear bros regularly. If they're considered bad, people don't do it. I think they're incorrect. Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't do these builds. Since I am at least somewhat of a sweaty tryhard. And so, you know, how is it that I've reached an entirely different conclusion about an optimal way to play the game? Yeah, exactly. It's a defensive way of playing the game. For sure. I'm curious, Tassidaros, if your question comes from, I'm assuming you must be a Legends enjoyer, given the questions, and you're just sort of curious of someone else's opinion on it, or? Oh yeah, it's repetitive, monotonous. That's fair. Oh, you started. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of experience with it. A lot of my, you know, notions of how it plays are just based on very limited experience. And yeah, and for what it's worth, I would do a lot more build variety. Even within, I don't know, I still feel like these last two runs I've made some not totally out there builds, but I've made some really interesting ones. And if I were playing a little bit less seriously, I would certainly experiment with more. No, it's a fair criticism. Yeah. No, I understand the wanting to see a bit more content. I think that's fair. I kind of wish that they would just add like a bunch more origins, because each of the origins has like just a little something that's kind of interesting, and some of the out there ones like cultists or anatomists, I think are really cool because they come with their own sets of challenges, their own ways of building things and stuff like that. Yeah, there are a few like multi-tiered quests where you fight like an undead camp and it's like, we found the necromancer, go fight him. And obviously the ones with the crisis, there's a lot of the crisis quests are, you know, have multiple stages. Which crisis did you see? I'm curious. Yeah, Legends definitely feeling like a new game is, I think it basically is. I think that's accurate. The noble, okay, yeah. Yeah, the noble, noble crisis can be... You have to kind of... Fighting noble armies can be tricky. I'm trying to decide if I want to fight these 6 frosty unholds. It's kind of a lot. You know what's funny is, did you play Iron Man 2? Like Iron Man veteran, or did you play non-Iron Man? Yeah. So when I was first learning the game, I played Iron Man because that's, and what I thought in my head was, well, that's how I like to play other games. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's fair. That's a reasonable way. But I said to myself, you know, I play other games Iron Man. I'm going to play this one Iron Man. And if I could go back in time, I would take my, you know, that previous version of myself and I'd give him a slap. I'd say, no, just play it non-Iron Man so you can learn what all the different units even do. You can learn all the, you know, you have no idea how to assess anything when you're playing Iron Man for the first time and you don't even know what the enemies do, let alone know how to strategize against them. Like, you can't learn that if you're, you know, if you don't let yourself do it. So I learned the game much more slowly than I otherwise would have, just because I was dumb and stubborn. But the whole reason I did it was because, like, that's how I like to play a lot of other games, and so I was just like, oh yeah, so that'll make sense here too. And it's like, kind of. I'm actually, in this fight, I'm a little worried about my backline. 6 Frosty Unholds is actually kind of a lot for the team at this point in the run. So I'm gonna kind of intentionally create a little bit of space. And not push them forward. And I know that the spear walls are, in some sense, pointless, because they're just gonna blow right through them. But that's okay. Oh. Huh. They did very little charging. Should I put down a dog? I think probably not. Yeah, my throwers are just like... That is the downside to not building them as like proper hybrids. They're just too vulnerable. I guess I can just sort of bank on the fact that I'll probably kill this one in time. But I might not. So by proper hybrid, what I mean is, so I'll just show you. So these are kind of goofy builds that I wouldn't recommend you do, but at least, you know, until you kind of understand the game, like with kind of several runs under your belt. But I'm building like an initiative-based, overwhelm, fearsome gunner that I haven't taken much for defensive perks on, basically just nimble, and I haven't even taken Colossus. And the idea is that I just don't put them in a position where they are subject to a lot of danger. But what that means is then strategically I'm limited in fights like this. Like I can't put them in a position where I'm like, yeah, they can fight in melee, like that's fine. Like I just can't do that. Alright, made that guy flee. I'm gonna hope he dies when he runs. I think he probably will. No, got hit by the spear too much. Boy, that Barbarian Cleaver's doing work, though. So I'd say most Battle Brothers players are building aren't building like pure ranged bros. They'll build hybrids that can still fight in melee in a pinch if you need it, and you often do, just because, like, look at this battlefield. There's a lot of enemies in this game that like throw you around. Well, I think a rule of thumb you can follow is, in general, don't. Fatigue is, it would be better if it were better. Like the game would be better if fatigue were better, I think, as a stat to level up. There are builds that use it, don't get me wrong. They exist, and some of them are really good. And like tanks need fatigue, you know, there's a bunch of builds that do need it, but a lot of them really don't need much. Risky, but I'm gonna put that guy up there. Here we go. Yeah, fat-based damage bros, yeah. And like, you know, again, I have my whole spear bro thing that not a lot of people do, and that's a fatigue build. It doesn't require a ton of fatigue, not a lot, but it does require some. Okay. Well, this was a good fight for me to take to, like right before I'm heading back to sell stuff, because the team is in rough shape after this one. Kind of expected, though. Okay, that guy just needs to back up. I shouldn't put that guy there either. There we go. Run them down. Give me your pelts. Yeah, definitely took a good bit of damage there on a bunch of bros, and that's what I was hoping to see. All these giant skull and bones, which will eventually get turned into the bone armor plating attachments. All right, initiative gunner. He min-rolled all the things that I might want to increase. I guess I'll take the +2 in HP. Is fine. So what do I want to make sure I have on this guy? I want to have... Not having Pathfinders really annoyed me on all of these bros. I think I'm just going to start taking it on all of them. Even if I still need to get like Fearsome and Overwhelm on this guy. Okay. Alright. 70 tools and supplies to fix up the armor, huh? I guess that's as expected. Let's see, and I'm probably going to not fight that. I think even if I cycle bros in, yeah, I'd have to take out too many. That's fine. I can sit that one out. Let the barbarians fight amongst themselves. Let's see, can I get to this town before nightfall? I don't think so. Okay. Wait till dawn. Gives the a little bit of time for things to heal up anyway. Check out the mission here. Patrol the road, just between these three. That could be a little bit profitable, and as you may notice, I'm a little low on crowns. So that might be an opportunity to just get a bit more money and then make another trip out deep into the wilderness. I think I can sell the decayed full helm. It's not that much better than like flat top with mail, and I don't know, it stinks. I don't want to give my boys a stinky helmet. We'll sell all this stuff. The man splitters are interesting. I could maybe justify keeping those around, but I don't think I'm gonna bother. So now I suppose I do have enough money. I don't think I even need to take that quest to patrol the roads. I think I can let's see. Let's take a look at yeah, I think what I'll do is I'm going to stock up on supplies and then make a trip out to the far edge of the map again. So, gonna buy some food. A lot of goat cheese and beer. Sounds good, but pretty sure that's a recipe for GI distress. I'm gonna wait just a little bit of time. One more tick, yeah. Alright, then I'm gonna head east. Somewhere east. Maybe down through here and then through there. What do you need help with? Our monk seems a little disturbed. Absolutely disgusting. He's perfect. Let them out. Oh, cute. We gain a falcon and a dog. Who should I give the falcon to? So the falcon, I don't usually buy them, and you don't get them very often, but they just display all the terrain on the map. Do they just display the map for you for one turn? They're actually kind of, like, low-key, legit, very useful. I do like having one. I'm just trying to think of who I would want to use it. Honestly, probably one of the spear bros. Nah, I so often want to move 2 hexes and then spear wall. Actually, I wonder if my initiative pole build that I've got on Bijante, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna do it. I think that's the right build for it. Goes early in the turn order, not going to do anything too meaningful first round, still can get in position to do something later. I think it makes sense. And let's take a look at this bro we got. It's fine. If this were early in the run, I would be over the moon, very excited, super happy, looks great. But right now, We don't need them. Yeah, alright. I think the team's good to go. Cute little barbarian camp. Now I think while I'm still healing up just a little bit from injuries and other things, given that I can only take so many fights before I kind of fill up my cart with goodies anyway, I'm going to go a little bit further out. If I want to catch some of those fights on the way back, I can. But the fights at the edge of the map are just going to be more profitable. Oh my goodness, the hunting ground. Okay. So this is an opportunity to turn this broken ritual armor into a proper suit of armor. And so my initiative builds here. I'm going to put their guns away. Replace them with some throwing axes, just so that we can proc Overwhelm reliably. If you can get Overwhelm stacks on the Idjarok, he's just not going to hurt you, basically. Otherwise, is anyone too vulnerable? So the real risk is if you've got someone that doesn't have Nimble, who's got a vulnerable head. Honestly, even my bros that do have Nimble, again, these ones that I didn't make hybrids, that I kind of have low defenses on, they're like a little fragile. They could totally... They're not going to get one shot, but not too far off. Okay, and it's still dusk. It's not nighttime, which is good. Man, this guy's got -5 fatigue recovery per turn. That's fine. He's going to stay him out anyway. Crushed Finger, who's a big who cares. Okay. Let's destroy this thing. So I think the first turn he basically always charges right to the center. So we're going to let him do that. Ow. And I want to try to, if I can, each turn attack him with both a hammer and a mace. That's the ideal. Because what I want to do is daze him and stun him. The other thing I'm going to make sure I'm doing is getting in positions where I'm sort of protecting the bros that got hit and that are hurt, which I think I'm basically doing right now. Okay, that wasn't too bad. And I'm going to wait on most bros. But I could take opportunities like this guy. Even though this might hit my ally. Yeah. Just for the overwhelm proc. Then on everyone else who can't get in range, I'm just gonna wait. There we go. And see, he didn't even hit anyone because he was overwhelmed. Let's see, what weapons do those guys have? Yes, I want to make sure I don't occupy the hex that I was about to, because I want it to be open. So I can hit this guy with a bonk. So I want to make sure that this guy and this guy just remain sort of internally covered. So I'm actually not gonna move that guy to melee range. Okay. I'm going to move this guy in a little safer for next round. So again, I've got this guy, and this guy that are all vulnerable. And I'm just going to make sure I've got bros all around them so that they can't get hit. I'm managing to do a good job of also not hitting him. Oh, it's really good. The Madman Cleaver is really, really good. I'll show you in a second. It's like disgustingly good, actually. It's a pretty good damage roll. And weapon skills build up less fatigue is actually like not bad on a cleaver. So would I rather be a damage ignores armor? Sure. Am I happy with it? Absolutely. It is gross how good it is. And I wonder if I can put down a dog here. I think that might be worth. Oh my god, that's incredible. Maybe I put my dog down. Let the dogs get involved. he's very close to dead. So close. There we go. So definitely took some hits, but basically the key in that fight is just if bros get hit and they're hurt, move them to the inside of your formation so that when he charges from any direction, that you don't let them be subject to the hit. And so we get the armor of the Ijirok and helmet of the Ijirok, which are chef's kiss. Wonderful armors. Okay, I'm definitely going to need to cycle a bunch of bros out. Actually, all my ranged bros. Oh, who's this? Oh, wait, I see. I got confused of who was who. Monolith armors? Yeah. Yeah, they the anti-miasma armor. Yeah, and so notably, that's kind of a good point. One of the reasons I like to, if I can, make sure I get this armor before I do Monolith is my tank is just going to be subject to the miasma that the undead priests do, which do 10 hit points of damage each turn. You can see that this heals 10 points of hit point damage each turn. So it just compensates for the miasma. And so, calling it a monolith armor is reasonable. That's a reasonable reasonable thing to call it. For that very reason. Oh, and this guy, no, I'm not sending him in. He's got cut leg muscles. Who's not injured? Whose injuries aren't that bad? This guy's aren't that bad. It's a lot of just terrible injuries, actually. Ugh. Okay, what I can do is head out deeper into the wilds, but we're going to dodge all fights for like 2 days and see what heals up. The other option, I guess. Nope, never mind. I was going to say I could get the surgeon just to get him to heal up faster. A little medical care to heal up your broken ribs. Not a bad idea. I feel like what I did right there is like when you're a kid learning how to mow the lawn and your dad gets real mad at you because you don't do it right. So you don't have to ever do it again. That little strip of fog I left, that was that. Okay. What are these footprints? Shrats. Definitely not going to fight Shrats right now. Definitely not. Got some orc hunters for kind of a wimpy orc camp on the edge of the map. Crazy as it sounds, these like real small orc camps, like Occupied Cave here, actually have a not terrible chance of dropping named items. And busting this camp will complete the ambition that we've got right now, which is very good. Okay, so real talk, what do I plan on doing? This guy can still be in. This guy can be in. The fractured ribs are pretty bad, but I do want him for the orc fight. And I'm gonna bring in a couple gunners. Fractured elbows, I guess, is a big who cares. And the sprained ankle and bruised leg are like really bad, but realistically, I probably don't need to move them that much in combat. I'll just have to kind of remember that they've got that injury for the moment. This is like a nothing fight anyway, right? There's 5 enemies, but I don't know. When the team's hurt and you got injuries, it just like, you want to be careful. Oh, I thought that was the... well, whatever. I thought that was my pole arm bro, but this is him. Oh, and I could have released my eagle. Missed opportunity. Blast him. Seems good. Like, do you mean in the sense of, are they the same bird, or is there 2 things in this game that are each called, oh, hey, named items. It's okay, not a bad helmet. They're not the same. Is this a falcon? This is a falcon. Fair. I guess it's not an eagle, it's a falcon. Usually when I think of things that are spotting, I think of eagles. But this is a falcon. It's not an eagle. Good catch. Good eye. I had it wrong. We actually have both falcons and eagles, but mostly not eagles too much around where I live. I think we can finally retire the decayed full helm. Not a very exciting named helmet. Anything that's below like 290 you know, I don't know. Not very good. That's another reason why I often like to make an enemy of a noble faction. Is that I can farm their knights for their decorated full helms, which have 320 durability, which is excellent. So I'm going to give the tank the Orc trophy, since he does not yet have Indom. Can hand off that Nacho trophy to someone else. I think it's probably a little too heavy. It's maybe close. This is 13. You could probably make a Nimble Forge set out of this plus a medium armor with like light padding replacement and have it more be like a Forge Bro that you take Nimble on to kind of act like built-in additional fur padding that you can turn into like a, you know, a build that uses fatigue like a damage bro of some kind. I think it could be. But I don't know. It's true that 13 fatigue isn't too bad on a single piece of armor for Nimble Forge, but Nimble Forge is like, I won't go so far as to say it's a gimmick, but if you never had heard of it and just only built Nimble or only built Forge, the game would look basically the exact same. Alright, so we got a big ol' orc camp, a little sea of tents action here. I think unfortunately with the fractured ribs on one of my spear bros, that one's at the moment off limits. If I didn't have all these all these injuries. Actually, how's my medical supplies? Okay, I got a lot. If I didn't have all these injuries, I probably could do it and it would be fine. I might still not, just because it's some orc warriors is a little frightening to me, and the warlord adds a variable that, you know, can be pretty dangerous. So I'm okay, you know, live and let live while I heal up these injuries. But I will take these like smaller orc camps on the edge of the map for sure while we are healing up. Got 12 of them, so not too bad, a little pack of orcs. And I think against this crew of orcs, it's big enough. I am going to intentionally leave a little gap in the middle. Help reinforce the bottom side there. And now this guy's got the orc necklace, so I can position him a little more aggressively. Okay. If we had to redo Monolith timings per origin, what would you pick for a challenging win streak at our level? Pick an origin, I guess. Or, I mean, it would depend on the origin, which I realize you kind of built into your question. Pick for a challenging win streak. So like thinking about this run right now, I mean, again, I'm not like close to Monolith power level, but as I said earlier, I'm not that far. Yeah, day 90, Peasant Militia, yeah. I think day 90 for Peasant Militia, or even honestly, I mean, this team right now is really close. I could probably do it by day 90 if I wanted to. I'm not going to. 150s are getting it challenging on Lone Wolf Glads. I think especially Lone Wolf. And I think Deserters too. The tricky thing is like there are some origins that they're just hard to get going, but once they're going, then they're fine. And that's like where I think Deserters fits in. Yeah, Poachers is usually pretty easy. It can get a little slow at this. It can be a little slow at the start though, potentially. If you just don't start near a town that offers you what you need. Yeah, 100 to 110 for new company, I think is reasonable. 'Cause what day am I at right now? I should look. I'm trying to remember. I'll look at specifically here in a second. And you also have to think, like, you know, the point of a streak is that it is reasonably likely, but not so likely that you could do it totally consistently. Beast Slayer is super strong once it gets rolling, yeah. Yeah, sure, but that also isn't going to be a typical experience. Okay. Yeah, the other thing too is that, like, it depends a little bit on how much you want to try hard it too hard. Because, like, I like to the tricky thing is that I like to try hard real hard right at the beginning when it's risky. But, like, right now I kind of like not having to totally reassess gear and things like that for every fight. Like, there's a certain amount of micromanagement that you save that just makes the game a lot more fun to play. But like right now, you know, it's day 69, nice. And obviously the first obstacle is I gotta find the damn thing. It's probably in here somewhere, right? But yeah, I know what you're saying for the Beast Slayers. Built-in map hack. But like, this team is not that far from Monolith. We'd still want more fight density to like level up these bros to ideally hit at least 9 or 10, hopefully 11, which, yeah, by day 100, 110 is totally could get there. For sure. Yeah, the bottleneck is definitely getting wave 2 ready. Yeah, because like right now, you know, I've got, let's see, where's my, yeah, so like this is one of my companions. Where, here's another one. Yeah, so he's not quite 11 yet. And I've had really good fight density. And he's been in nearly every fight. Yeah, 119 battles, day 69. Still not quite 11. But he's close. What do I want this guy to be? I think I'll make him a nimble duelist of some kind. He's kind of a Chad. I'm gonna delay my decision. Just give him student. A plethora of young. Cute. I'm gonna take just a moment to fill my water and use the restroom. I will be back in uno momento. I am back. How do I like Brawny on Dodge Force nudes? I think it's okay. I try to, if possible, avoid taking Brawny. However, it does have the added advantage on a Dodge Forge of indirectly adding melee defense. And so from that perspective, I think it's fine. I think Fearsome is pretty good on fatigue neutrals. However, I think I am cooling on it a little bit, specifically for fatigue neutrals that have hammer and mace, specifically like mace. If I have a mace fatigue neutral where I'm only going to get one Fearsome proc per turn, you know, like, do you really need it? Like, it's fine. But if you can take Brawny, which indirectly gives more melee defense, and that allows you to pump resolve and hit points instead, I think that's totally fine. Well, sure, but is Fearsome on the mace making that big a difference? Or would it be better to have something else to make sure that that fatigue neutral is like safe where it is? You may still be right, but I think it's you know, I mean, you're not even necessarily trying to say you're saying something specific, but you know what I mean. Oh yeah, Dodge Forwards uses Hammer Bros because stagger. That makes sense. I think that's legit. But yeah, a low value use of an OP perk is like that's a pretty accurate way of putting it. Look at that. I use the thing. I can see the battlefield. The falcon. Not an eagle, but a falcon. Guns, guns, guns. That's pretty nice. I will say, as much as I knock cleavers, it is nice when you get a good one. The stuff you can do with it. You get some pretty neat looking turns with a good cleaver. Yeah, guns probably do need a nerf. I think I agree with that. Though, like, the thing is one of the problems with guns isn't guns, but it's fearsome. So, like, yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah, Sins is reading my mind. Something, great minds think alike, blah, blah, blah. But, yeah. I don't know, I kind of like nets because they're, like, rare. They're not that rare, but I should say, like, some seeds, like, don't have them, and so you can't rely on them. And I think that's cool. Alright, I think it's my first level 11. And guns do take a lot of work to get. I mean, I had to, at a pretty crucial juncture in this run, I spent, you know, 7,000 crowns on the guns that realistically, if I had spent that money on, like, you know, other really good gear, it would have had a similar effect. So, like, I don't know. What is this? A deserter? I thought this was limited to deserter's origin. 200 crowns for his head. Yeah, he's right here. Take him. I don't need deserters on the team. Yeah, but you can give guns to your tempo hybrid. You just spec crossbow mastery. It doesn't take much investment. You can, like, in fact, my last run, my gunners were just tempo hybrids. Like, a lot of the same perks and stat lines all still work with them. I think I'm gonna do the goblin one here. I don't think any of the others are worth considering. How's my cart doing? I got a little space yet. Let's see, another big ol' sea of tents. If this guy just didn't have fractured ribs. Nah, it's still probably too risky. Even with getting rid of the fractured ribs, that's just a little too big with the Orc Warlord to take safely. See, and I don't like Zerk Frenzy on throwers at all. Mostly because, or like my tempo hybrids, because on my tempo hybrids, I never want to level fatigue, ever. And so, in long fights, I'm going to stay them out anyway, pretty reliably. So, like, I don't really like taking Zerk Frenzy on my throwers. I'd rather have, like, there's so many other high value perks for a thrower, or a hybrid of any sort. Like, bags is a huge one. Do I want to fight this? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fights. Like, just having nets and fire pots available is so good. This is like a slightly sus fight that I think I'm going to take. I'm gonna set that guy out. Even... No, I suppose if I'm just charging forward, he's fine. Okay. And I don't really want to wait for nighttime. I think Spearman Bear makes sense. Though I'm also, to be honest, I'm more keen to make Spearman Lion, but that's because I view my spear as a sort of a pristine role on the squad. So if I can get that 95% hit chance up and running earlier, I kind of want that. But I think it works. It works pretty well on Bear too. But you don't really need as many secondaries as you might first imagine. But I haven't done like a ton of glads, just generally, so... Okay, so I got the first initial shots here by putting these guys here, but now to avoid getting everyone entangled, I'm just gonna move there. Yeah, glads broke... They broke my last streak. And did they break the one before? I don't even remember. They might have. Yeah, they broke the last one. Though I don't think it was anything to do with glads as much as like an obviously stupid fight. Like... Which maybe I felt pressured to do. Because, you know, I had, you know, income time pressure. So that's probably part of it. Wow, that's completely blocked off. Oof. Yeah, and the glads, they're expensive. The glads are real expensive. Okay, so one of the things I'm thinking of is, so before the shaman gets to move, just making sure I don't give him like an absolutely incredible opportunity to put crap all around me. Or if they do, I'm at least up front. And I'm gonna wait with the gunner, get him in a better position for he's got Relentless, so he can, you know, I don't know, get in a position for whatever's good next turn. Oh, Mr. Shaman. No turn for you. This whole no bottom entrance thing really sucks. I suppose it's still probably better to get this guy going up this way, given that's where all those wolf riders are. I was hoping to push him and then occupy that hex. Go here and shoot. It's not really that many great shots. Can move to here next turn and then shoot and hit 3 up there. Okay. Go, Eagle. Falcon. Not an eagle, it's a falcon. Oh, you silly wolf riders. There we go. I'll say wolf riders they're very good at spending turns doing like nothing. They're very good at that. They're so hell-bent on flanking you that they'll like not even help their team. Like, look, what are these guys doing? What are you doing? Oh. Goblin poison, that guy can't see shit. See, those other wolf riders are just running. Oh, whoops! Ah, that's disappointing. Didn't hit both of them because my mouse just slipped. And I call myself an RTS gamer at heart. Boy. Miss Micro. My poor dragoons have turned into blue splatter. All because I couldn't click on that damn spider mine. Okay, they are now all running away. Brave dog. Good boy, though. We'll help him out. Overall, this fight actually went pretty cleanly. All things considered. This particular goblin down here, though, is like an evasion god. There we go. Yeah, so not too bad, actually. Just a little bit of damage scattered all over. Dang, no named items though. A lot of times those, like, the camps that say defensible outpost erected by goblins, their like base famed item chance is really high. And I'm like almost like equidistant from all of these settlements here, so I was really hopeful that would be a named item. But alas, 'twas not meant to be. Alright, tank gains a level. Don't need to overcomplicate it. Choose the things that matter. And I think we'll just go forge. And actually, just thinking about it, since I've got bags and belts, there's no reason not to put these heavy as hell shields in his inventory. Should have done that previously, not that it was going to matter for the goblin fight, obviously, but got an axe fatigue neutral who rolled poorly on his primaries, at least one of them. And I might just take the +4 in resolve. I might patch perk him with Backstabber, but first I'm going to grab Fearsome. Woof. This guy, despite his incredible hit point value, is not very good. But what I am going to do for him is give him a mastery of the mace. And he'll be kind of realistically trying to think of what's a there. Kind of a note to myself that this guy's not, I mean, there's nothing wrong with him. He's totally serviceable. He's served the company well, but, you know, his primary stats are just a little low. He's one that, as some of my bros that are like injured, that are getting trained up, are going to replace him. Like this guy at level 5 has the same primaries as this guy at level 11. So, and this guy's got. He's very athletic. You know, look at those pecs. He works out. Okay. Definitely need Pathfinder on this guy. I feel like needing Pathfinder has been a theme, and I'm kind of desperate, and so I want it. He has rolled so many +2s. For shame. And then I don't know for sure what I'm going to choose as the very last perk on this guy. I really don't know. Probably just Duelist to make his throws better, but doesn't have to be. Okay, so what's my cart situation? 102 of 126. Got some, you know, low value items that can be replaced and some, you know, meat that's gonna go bad and yada yada yada. But I probably do need to at least kind of return to civilization. 9. 9 lives? Yeah. 9 lives is probably... This guy in particular, this guy could probably take Colossus, but the equivalent build, like over here, this guy wants 9 lives. I think when you're sitting at like 60 hit points, 9 lives is going to be much better. This guy was up to like 70, kind of leaning towards Colossus. But yeah, I think a defensive perk probably is sensible. At some point, some Orc Warlord or Warrior is going to charge through, or a bunch of Goblins are just going to throw bolas in one spot, and I'm going to wish I had 9 lives, is realistically probably what's going on. I think I agree with that. 9 lives is just so good. Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna travel south, and I'm gonna travel down to Kabira to hopefully sell stuff at a good rate. We'll see. Yeah, but I think anticipation doesn't help against like orcs. Oh, grotesque tree, for example, that I think is a pretty legitimate threat. Yeah, dodge is a legit choice. Take just a little. Gain the water skin. I don't have anyone with any permanent injuries, right? I think I'm like 90% sure that's true. Yeah. But we'll hang on to it. It looks like we're hunting these goblins. Really, we're just tracking the right side of the map. And seeing nothing. Which is too bad. These goblins, though. Right, I'm gonna take a peek on this mountain. Ooh, we got ourselves a couple champions. I have had the bounty hunter for quite some time now, actually, and have not seen a single champion, and now we see 2. And I like that very much. And I not only want the money, because they're champions, I want those, and people are going to think I'm crazy, I really want those named spears. I want the named spears, I want the named goblin swords, even though they're like 50-50 on whether they're any good or not. Maybe not even 50-50. They're most likely not good, but there's like maybe somewhere between 10 and 20% of them that are like actually legit good. And then the goblin pikes are actually, I think, pretty useful too when they're the named variety. Oh. Hello. Definitely not fighting these two together. So I guess it's going to be daytime when I'm fighting, which is fine. Okay. I think that's a legit good use of the falcon. So 2 named swords. Okay, so they are charging forward, which it kind of looked like they were not going to do. So I'm going to go up here and try to blast them, but mostly miss them. The other really nice thing about anticipation, or excuse me, about Relentless generally, is like being able to position a unit like that, fire, and then instead of being like, oh, I've got this 2 AP left, I should probably end turn so that I can go faster in the turn order next turn. No, when you've got, you know, Relentless, you can be like, no, that's fine. I'm just going to wait. And maybe I stay there. Probably I move forward 1. It's nice to be able to split your turn like that and not be penalized for it. It's a little spooky moving that guy there. That doggo might die by the end of this fight. We shall see. Okay, here comes the other wolf riders. I'm gonna wait with that guy. So I can finish him with someone else. good boy. Okay, I want to make sure not to get this guy too far out where those wolf riders are going to try to jump on him from behind. Because if given the opportunity, they'll try it. They're little shysters. I want to make sure I get on top of the champions too before the end of the battle so I can make sure I'm ending them rightly and getting their items. I'm just gonna get on the high ground spot by that ranged bro. It's a pretty scrappy looking battlefield. A lot going on here. Okay, one fancy shiny item. Let's see if we can get another. Should be able to. I don't think there's any way that guy can get out. Oh, there's a tree in my way. Okay, still shoot that guy. Stupid bush. Blocking movement, blocking sight, doing exactly what it says on the tooltip. How dare it? Don't you get out of there. fatigue. There we go. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about. That's pretty good. Look at that damage roll. Now, the damage ignores armor is unfortunately also pretty necessary. Maybe not necessary. Almost necessary for these to be good. But like, this is a good item. What is the range on it? I should look and just see at least that. Yeah, so Cruel Falchion, max possible damage range, or max possible damage it could roll, is 46 to 59. So this is only 1 damage away from a max damage roll. It's better than a Noble Sword. Not dramatically better than a Noble Sword, but it's better than a Noble Sword. So, and it's very light, and the weapon skills building up less fatigue is actually super nice. In this one, we got actually we got a damage roll that's not quite as impressive as the other, but still pretty good. And damage ignores armor. A pretty average roll in it, but like, these are 2 really good swords. Hell yeah. I'm happy. So, who to give them to? Hey now. You just gotta check that checkbox like I do. So this guy that's good TBD, his melee skill was a little low. He could absolutely be a sword duelist, and I think that would be awesome. Yeah, I think he'd be really good for it. His melee skill is higher than appears right now. It's not incredible, but it's pretty good. At least for level 11 when he reaches there. And, you know, he's got so much hit points that he doesn't need, you know, patch perks for survivability. Also, like, a ton of defense, right? So, he's got 22 defense at level 5. He's going to be really good. And of course, the swords can be used as a sidearm for the gunners as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Or even for the tank, because this tank legit attacks a decent amount. Because he's got pretty good melee skill. Haven't leveled it once, but that was just what he came with by default. Which is actually pretty good. So I think because I legitimately get some use out of it, I'm going to put that one on this guy. And then here, I'm just going to go ahead and just slot that in already. Pretty great. Now this guy, I do want to give somebody Cleaver Mastery too, to use this monstrosity. I could take Cleaver Mastery here. I would like Killing Frenzy on him too, though. hey Maggie. One of the dogs has come to say hello. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to give this guy Cleaver Mastery or find someone better for the Cleaver. Because there's two things going through my head. One, I want to find a slightly better bro. Yeah, no. There will be very little recovery taken on any bros that I ever build. Just the tank. I kind of want a slightly better bro to make use of the Cleaver long term. So I might give that honor to this guy. I actually also think Athletic is low-key kind of good for Cleavers because it's a slightly mobile build. Kind of doesn't need quick hands. It's fine. Like a whip as a utility is fine. Not really that high value though. So it would kind of be like this same setup that Donazatello has, only Fearsome is borderline optional on a Cleaver. Despite the number of attacks you get, it's like often a finisher weapon, or at least that's how you should try to use it. So I could do kind of the same thing as this, only minus Fearsome, then pick up Cleaver Mastery. Fearsome's still good, but it's not like as strictly necessary. So I think I'm just going to take Killing Frenzy and just more hit points. And I'll keep him weapon agnostic. And is there any world in which I do this fight now? I think probably not. A plethora of skirmishers, an overseer and a shaman. It's daytime. I'm hurt. No. Why would I even say that? I don't need to do that. That'd be dumb. Yeah, Fearsome with Quick Hands plus Whip is okay. Yeah, you're not going to get too many Fearsome procs off the Whip. I mostly think the Quick Hands Whip is more for like that sort of pocket play of that, you know, a disarm if you kind of need it. In fact, I could, while this guy's in training, give him a Cleaver, see how he feels with it. You know, actually, the team's scuffed up enough, and we don't have any inventory slots. I can come back for that. I'm gonna just head to the town. To Kabira. Perfect. Ambush trade routes. That's what you want to see when you're arriving with a boatload of gear. Deliver cargo, blah, blah, blah. Drive off nomads, blah, blah, blah. I mean, maybe. Okay. Don't really know why I'm checking those. I mean, it's ambush trade routes. Just sort of habit. Alright, gonna sell the food that's about to expire. I think I'll hang on to the goblin poison for now. There's like arena fights where it's got some serious utility. Even though, since I don't have, you know, my ranged bros did initiative gun builds, so they don't have space in the build for bags and belts, which is normally when I would make use of something like the goblin poison. Whatever. I think I can sell all that stuff. Sell, 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 sell. Sell, 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 sell. Give me your money, Mr. Merchant. Okay. And after getting the armor of the Idjarok, I don't have to worry about accidentally selling the ritual armor. Not that I've ever done that. Okay. Well, and I think, for me, that is a nice time to stop. I've been streaming for several hours now. I think that's a good play sesh. Let's see who else is playing any Battle Brothers. Any Battle Brothers streamers we can raid? Wow, literally no one. No one else is playing Battle Brothers? Are you kidding me? Alright. Well, actually, so interestingly enough, there's a person who plays Battle Brothers whose Battle Brothers play I don't think is that interesting. Don't tell him I said that. But he's playing They Are Billions, and his They Are Billions play is like beat your head against the wall, fascinating resilience, and that's Arvius. So we'll see what he's up to. I do like watching his 900% They Are Billions no pause. It's like, it's special. Anyway, that sounds fun to me. So, to all of you still hanging around, have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Ta-ta.